Welcome to video 3 in our Winter 26 road trip series. Today we will be exploring the ghost town of Bonnie Claire. And believe it or not, we found a connection from this ghost town to electrical vehicles. We will explain that later on in this video. Kick back, enjoy, relax, and please give us a like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks! Making the very long, straight drive to our destination. Hello, we are now at somewhere in the Bonnie Claire mining area. We've got this little structure behind us, and we're going to go check out what we see. Enjoy. Looks like somebody had a long-term campsite here. Half case of water, some really nasty looking sodas. In the 1880s, gold miner Guy Thorpe, who owned the Rattlesnake mine at what would later become Thorpe's Well, built a 5-stamp mill. This was operated until the Bonnie Claire Bullfrog Mining and Milling Company bought it after the turn of the century. Stonework. Thorpe, a small camp community, soon came into existence. In 1904, the Bonnie Claire Mill was constructed. As traffic between Bullfrog and Goldfield increased, Thorpe became an important stage stop for a short time, and also had a small suburb called Somerville. It didn't last too long. In September of 1906, the Bullfrog Goldfield Railroad came to Thorpe, and the Montana Station was established. At that time, a new town site was plotted and renamed Bonnie Claire, though it took 3 years for the post office to get renamed. Guessing those are smelting pots? Could be wrong. If I am, feel free to correct me in the comments. No idea. Nothing like bent steel to give you that sense of calm and safety. Younger days, I would have been all over this place. Okay. In 1907, the Las Vegas and Tonopah Railroad also came to Bonnie Claire, and a large 2-story depot was constructed. There were plans to bring a railroad to the mines at Ubehebe, but this never came to be. It was during this time that Bonnie Claire reached its peak, with a population hovering around 250 people, along with several businesses.
Well, I made it down. Minor slippage. Yeah, wearing my Hokas. I got hiking shoes down in the camper, but was I smart enough to put them on? No. According to Onyx, it says this is the Lippincott mine, which I'm curious about because Lippincott is in Death Valley, which granted we're on the border, but I've been to the Lippincott mine.
There's more than one location owned by the same company at one point.
But yeah, one of these days I'll get back out to Lippincott. We're heading into Death Valley, but the road up to Ubehebe Crater is closed, and so you can't get out to the racetrack, and the Lippincott's out past there. So next time.
Yes.
Another excuse to go to Death Valley. Doggone it. So we just came from over there. And now we're at the structure across the highway.
By 1909, declining production between Rhyolite and Gold Mountain caused a decline for Bonnie Claire as business for the mill and the railroad traffic both slowed. However, in 1910, the new Bonnie Claire Mining Company was renovated, and they enlarged the Bonnie Claire Mill, which proved to be a failure for the lack of ore to process, and by the following year the population had dwindled to about 150 people.
Leave drinks and pot and a lighter, please. Interesting place.
So apparently this is a stop for the burners on their way to and from Burning Man. In 1913, the Jumbo Extraction Company built a new mill at Thorpe's Well, which ran for 2 years until being taken over by the Quigley Reduction Company in 1915. In 1914, the Las Vegas and Tonopah Railroad, along with the Bullfrog and Gulffield Railroad, merged, and one line was abandoned, running limited service to Bonnie Claire until 1927, when the line was used primarily to transport building materials for Scotty's Castle in Death Valley. And in early 1928, all railroad service ended, causing Bonnie Claire to fade off into the sunset. Only 2 residents still remained when the post office finally closed its doors for good in 1931.
So I believe this is part of the old railroad right of way. You can see the raised platform off in the distance to where those structures were. Which again, Onyx said that was Bonnie Claire. So I don't know. I forgot to bring all the stuff I looked up for it. So we will see. And then the mill side is over there. I know at one time there was a train station and everything out here.
Well, we were getting ready to leave, and then we saw something on a map, so we're going to go check it out.
So now I think we're actually heading into Bonnie Claire. Looked it up on Onyx, a little more detail than we had before. I'm looking at that little rock wall there. It looks more like what I remember the other videos showing. Definitely looks like the site of the old mill. Here comes Ann in the Jeep. this morning it was 29 degrees. It's now about 80 and feels wonderful.
Towards the end of 1951, George Lippincott from the Sun Battery and the Nick Silver Battery Companies started construction of a lead mill and smelter on the old Bonnie Claire mill site
I'd say somebody's camped here.
to service his mines in Death Valley. Operations began in early 1952 and only ran for a few years when the lead mines played out. After that, Bonnie Claire was officially gone for good. On a side note, George Lippincott led the development of electric vehicles, and his goal was to produce 10 battery-powered cars per day. The prototype contained 12 4-volt batteries, had a top speed of 50 miles an hour, and a range between 100 and 150 miles. The project, however, was abandoned before the prototype was even built.
So hopefully it's picking up. But off in the distance you can see a little white line kind of veering off to the right. I believe that's the railroad. And if you follow it, you can see a little white line right before all the big sand. And it just keeps on going that way. Because I know there was a actual railroad station and a depot and everything out here. We're just running out of time and my drone's acting wonky and doesn't want to work, so I think we're going to call it and head on into Death Valley. We will see you soon. All sorts of old pottery on the ground.
Well, we are heading into Death Valley, so I think we're going to call this video done. So stay tuned for the Death Valley one, and we've got some Calico ones coming up. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and we will see you on the next video. And remember, it is never too late for adventure. Get out and explore.